Welcome to MogulCast, where we uncover the stories behind the world's greatest business empires. Let's get into today's story. November 2023. OpenAI's internal financials leak. The numbers are worse than anyone imagined. The company is burning $5 billion a year. For every dollar it earns, it loses $1.25. The most valuable AI startup in history, now a cash furnace. Just months earlier, investors valued it at $86 billion. How did the company that promised to save the world become the biggest money pit in Silicon Valley? This is the full story. And it is worse than you think. It started in 2015. Sam Altman, then president of Y Combinator, gathered Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and other tech luminaries in a San Francisco office. Their mission: build artificial general intelligence, for the benefit of humanity. OpenAI was born as a non-profit. No shareholders, no profit motive. Just pure research. But there was a problem. Training AI models was expensive. Really expensive. We will come back to one specific decision. It is the key to everything. By 2018, the costs were spiraling. OpenAI needed more money than donations could provide. The board made a fateful choice: create a for-profit arm. Investors could now own a piece of the future. Microsoft wrote the first check, $1 billion. The deal came with a catch: OpenAI's technology would be exclusive to Microsoft's cloud. The non-profit dream was over. But no one knew just how expensive the dream would become. Then came ChatGPT. Launched in November 2022, it became the fastest-growing app in history. 100 million users in 2 months. OpenAI was suddenly the hottest name in tech. Valuation skyrocketed. Sam Altman was on the cover of every magazine. But behind the scenes, the costs were exploding. Training the next model, GPT-4, cost over $100 million. And that was just the beginning. By early 2023, OpenAI was spending $700,000 per day just to keep the lights on. Revenue was growing, but not fast enough. Microsoft doubled down, investing another $10 billion. The deal valued OpenAI at $29 billion. But not everyone was celebrating. Inside the company, engineers were sounding alarms. The cash burn was unsustainable. And then, the numbers leaked. Here is what the media completely got wrong about OpenAI. It wasn't just about building AI. It was about winning a race. A race against Google, Meta, and every other tech giant. To stay ahead, OpenAI had to train bigger models, faster. That meant buying more GPUs, hiring more engineers, and spending more money. The strategy was simple: outspend everyone else. But no one asked the real question: what happens when the money runs out? The pivot came in early 2023. OpenAI's board approved a plan to raise even more money, at a $86 billion valuation. The problem? The company was still losing billions. Investors were betting on future profits, not current reality. Then, in November 2023, the board tried to fire Sam Altman. The move backfired. Employees revolted. Altman returned. But the damage was done. The world saw the cracks in OpenAI's empire. The moment everything cracked. A single line in OpenAI's financials. Cash burn, $5 billion per year. That number wasn't just bad, it was catastrophic. At that rate, OpenAI would run out of money in less than 2 years. Even Microsoft's $13 billion lifeline wouldn't be enough. The company that promised to change the world was now fighting for survival. And the worst part? No one saw it coming. The hidden cost. Training AI models. Each new version of GPT costs exponentially more. GPT-3 cost $4.6 million. GPT-4 cost over $100 million. The next model? Estimates put it at $1 billion. And that's just the beginning. OpenAI is locked in a race it can't afford to lose. But it also can't afford to keep spending. The math doesn't add up. And if you've made it this far, you already understand something most analysts completely missed. The boardroom coup in November 2023 wasn't just about Sam Altman. It was about money. The board knew the cash burn was unsustainable. They wanted to slow down. Altman wanted to speed up. The employees sided with Altman. But the real question remains, can OpenAI survive its own ambition? The answer might determine the future of AI itself. The legacy of OpenAI's cash burn. A warning for the entire tech industry. AI is not just expensive, it's ruinously expensive. Companies like Google and Meta are spending billions to keep up. But OpenAI was first. And it might be the first to collapse under the weight of its own ambition. The $86 billion valuation is now a ticking time bomb. And the clock is running. Remember that decision we mentioned at the start? The shift from non-profit to for-profit in 2018? Here is what it actually cost. OpenAI's mission was no longer about saving humanity. It was about winning. And winning required money, lots of it. The $5 billion cash burn isn't just a financial problem. It's a moral one. The company that promised to democratize AI is now controlled by the highest bidder. The numbers don't lie. OpenAI's $86 billion valuation. $5 billion annual cash burn. $1.25 lost for every dollar earned. $13 billion from Microsoft. $1 billion estimated cost for the next AI model. 100 million ChatGPT users. And one question, how long can this last? The lesson? AI isn't just a technology. It's a money furnace. And the companies that control it will either become the most powerful in history, or the biggest cautionary tales. OpenAI's cash burn is a preview of what's coming for the entire industry. The question isn't whether AI will change the world. It's whether the world can afford it. If you want to understand how this pattern repeats across every major business collapse, the next video covers a story with disturbing parallels. That one is next. That's the story for today on MogulCast. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the bell. A new Empire story drops every single weekday. See you tomorrow.